Have you ever felt like something is holding you back, stopping you from becoming the person you know you can be? Maybe it's a voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough, not capable enough, or not worthy of success. It's that nagging, whispering doubt that lingers, and it seems like no matter how hard you try, it pulls you back. But what if I told you that this voice, the one that tells you you're not enough, isn't even your own? What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and the life you deserve is a series of beliefs you've accepted as truth, beliefs that you've been conditioned to hold on to without ever questioning them? You've been living with a set of limiting beliefs, beliefs that you didn't consciously choose but were formed by society, your upbringing, and your past experiences. These beliefs have shaped how you see yourself, how you see the world, and ultimately, how far you think you can go. But here's the truth. These beliefs aren't facts. They're stories. Stories that you've been telling yourself for years. And like any story, you have the power to rewrite it. Right now, today, you have the power to break free from these limitations. The chains that have kept you from stepping into your greatness can be shattered. You can rewrite the narrative and create a new story for yourself. A story where you are powerful, capable, and but it won't be easy. Breaking free from limiting beliefs takes courage. It takes facing the truth of who you are, confronting the lies you've believed, and daring to step into the unknown. It requires a willingness to challenge everything you thought was true about yourself. So, let's begin this journey together. Are you ready to break free? Are you ready to confront those beliefs that have held you hostage for so long? Let's do it. The first step starts now, and it begins with a simple question. What would happen if you truly believed in your own potential? What if there were no limits to what you could achieve? Chapter 1. The Power of Belief. What would happen if you truly believed you were capable of everything you've ever dreamed of? No restrictions, no doubts, no limitations. Just pure belief in your ability to make things happen. What kind of life would you create for yourself if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that success was within your reach? Belief is everything. It's the foundation of everything you do. The decisions you make, the actions you take, and the way you show up in the world. Everything is driven by your beliefs. But here's the thing. Beliefs are not facts. They are not permanent, and most importantly, they are not always true. Think about it. Have you ever caught yourself saying something like, "I can't do this," or "This is just who I am," or "I'll never be successful"? These aren't truths. These are beliefs. Beliefs that have been ingrained in you over time, by your past, by your family, by society. But none of these beliefs define you. They're simply stories that you've been telling yourself. Stories that are keeping you small. Now let's challenge that narrative. The first step in breaking free from limiting beliefs is understanding the incredible power your beliefs have over your life. They shape your reality in ways you may not even realize. Your beliefs determine what you perceive as possible. If you believe that you're not good enough, you'll never take the risks that are necessary to grow. If you believe you can't succeed, then failure becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. On the other hand, if you believe you are capable of achieving greatness, you'll find ways to make that belief a reality. The truth is, you have the power to choose what you believe. You may not control everything in life, but you absolutely control the beliefs you hold about yourself. And when you start to question and challenge those beliefs, you open up a world of possibility. So ask yourself, what would happen if you shifted your belief from "I can't" to "I will"? Imagine the changes in your life, the opportunities you'd see, the risks you'd take, the doors that would open for you. It starts with a choice to believe in something greater than what you've been conditioned to think. It starts with a decision to stop letting limiting beliefs dictate your future. And in this very moment, you have that power. You have the power to decide that your beliefs will no longer limit you. You can choose to believe in your limitless potential. And when you do, you will begin to see your world change. Chapter 2. Rewriting the story. Every story you've told yourself up until now has shaped the person you are today. Your fears, your insecurities, your doubts, they all come from a story you've believed about yourself. A story that says, I am not enough, or I can't handle this, or I'll never be successful. But what if that story isn't true? What if it's simply a chapter in your life that you can rewrite? The hardest part about breaking free from limiting beliefs is realizing that they are just stories. Stories that you've accepted as truth without ever questioning them. You were told, perhaps unknowingly, that certain things were true about you. That you were not capable, that you were destined to fail, that you were too small, too weak, too inexperienced, or too anything. But here's the truth. The only thing that makes these stories real is your belief in them. And if you can change your belief, you can change the story. Your past does not have to define your future. You have the power to rewrite your narrative, to start fresh, and to become the person you were always meant to be. Imagine your life as a book. Every experience, every thought, every decision, every belief is like a sentence in that book. Right now you may be reading a chapter filled with struggles, setbacks, and doubts. But that doesn't mean the rest of your book is written. The next chapter is unwritten, and the beauty of it is, you have the pen in your hand. Now, here's the powerful part. You can go back and change the chapters that no longer serve you. You can rewrite the old story, the one that keeps you trapped in fear and doubt. This doesn't mean erasing your past, but rather reinterpreting it. It's about seeing your struggles as lessons, your failures as stepping stones, and your mistakes as opportunities to grow. It's time to break free from the belief that your past dictates your future. You are not a prisoner of your history. You are the author of your future. Start today by challenging the story you've been telling yourself. If you've been saying, I'm not good enough, challenge that. Ask yourself, what if I am good enough? What evidence do I have that says I am not? If you've been saying, I'll never succeed, ask yourself, what if I could? What would it look like if I succeeded? When you start questioning your old narrative, you begin to open yourself to new possibilities. You start to see the gaps in your story, the places where you've been limiting yourself. And as you rewrite those pages, you begin to change the direction of your life. It's not going to happen overnight. Rewriting your story takes time and conscious effort, but every time you challenge an old belief, you're one step closer to breaking free. The key is consistency. Don't let the old narrative pull you back. Keep writing your new story, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by the story you choose to tell yourself today. And when you take control of your narrative, you take control of your life. Chapter 3. Shifting the mindset. There's a powerful distinction between two types of mindsets that will determine how far you go in life. One mindset holds you back, keeps you stagnant, and limits your potential. The other propels you forward, pushes you to new heights, and reveals possibilities you never thought possible. These two mindsets are the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, and understanding the difference between the two could be the key to unlocking your full potential. The fixed mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents are set in stone, that you're either good at something or you're not. If you believe in a fixed mindset, challenges become obstacles to avoid, failures become evidence of your inability, and effort becomes something to avoid if you're not already naturally good at something. You might hear the voices in your head saying, I'm not smart enough, or this is too hard for me, or I'll never be good at this. These beliefs keep you from taking risks, from pushing yourself, and from growing. But here's the powerful truth. A fixed mindset is a lie. It's a belief that says your abilities are limited when, in reality, you have unlimited potential to grow. You are not stuck with what you have right now. You can develop new skills, learn from your failures, and push yourself to new heights. You can change the way you think, and when you do, you change your reality. This is where the growth mindset comes in. The growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, dedication, and perseverance. It's about seeing challenges as opportunities to learn, seeing failures as stepping stones to success, and knowing that your effort will always pay off in the end. People with a growth mindset are not afraid of mistakes. They embrace them because they know that's where growth happens. They believe that every experience, every setback, and every challenge is an opportunity to get better. So, let me ask you, which mindset are you operating from? Do you believe your potential is limited, or do you believe that growth is always possible? Do you see failure as a dead end, or do you see it as a lesson that will help you evolve? The great news is that the growth mindset is something you can develop. It's a choice, and it starts with how you view challenges. Instead of saying, "This is too hard, I can't do it," try saying, "This is tough, but I'm going to figure it out." Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," start believing, "I'm not there yet, but I'll get there if I keep working at it." The shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset takes time, but it's one of the most powerful changes you can make in your life. When you embrace the idea that growth is always possible, you free yourself from the limitations of your old beliefs. You stop seeing challenges as roadblocks, and you start seeing them as opportunities to rise to the occasion. This mindset shift is not just about how you approach challenges. It's about how you approach your entire life. It's about understanding that growth is not a destination, it's a lifelong journey. You will never stop learning, you will never stop evolving. And the more you embrace that fact, the more you'll realize that your potential is truly unlimited. So today, choose the growth mindset. Choose to believe that no matter where you are, you can always become better. You can always grow. And that belief will push you to take the steps, make the effort, and embrace the challenges that will ultimately transform your life. Chapter 4. Embracing failure. It's a word that often carries a heavy weight, something we fear, something we avoid, something that makes us question our worth and abilities. But what if I told you that failure is not something to fear, but something to embrace? What if failure was actually the very thing you need to succeed? The truth is, failure is not the end. It's not a sign that you're not good enough or that you've reached your limit. Failure is a stepping stone. It's a necessary part of the journey towards success. In fact, failure is your best teacher, your greatest ally, and your most powerful tool for growth. Think about it. Every successful person you admire, every trailblazer who's achieved greatness, has failed many times. They didn't achieve their success in a straight line. They stumbled, they fell, they faced setbacks. But they didn't let failure stop them. Instead, they used it as fuel to push forward, to improve, and to get closer to their goals. Imagine if Thomas Edison had given up after the first 1,000 attempts to invent the light bulb, or if Michael Jordan had quit after being cut from his high school basketball team. What if Oprah had let the rejection letters from television stations define her? These people didn't see failure as a reflection of their abilities. They saw it as part of the process, as feedback that helped them improve. But here's the key. Embracing failure doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It doesn't mean giving up on your standards or lowering your expectations. It means understanding that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of your growth. Every time you fail, you're learning. Every time you fall short, you're getting better. Failure is not permanent. It's just temporary feedback that helps you adjust, refine, and move closer to success. So, the next time you face a setback, don't view it as something negative. Don't let it crush your spirit or make you question your abilities. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I improve? How can I do better next time? Failure is not a reflection of who you are. It's a sign that you are pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone. It's proof that you're taking risks, that you're growing, and that you're moving forward. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to success. And here's something even more important to remember. Failure is not final. You have the power to rise again. You have the ability to get back up, adjust your approach, and try again. Don't let a temporary setback become a permanent defeat. Your ability to bounce back from failure, to learn from it, and to use it as a springboard for success is what will ultimately set you apart. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning to fail forward, to fail wisely, and to fail with resilience. The most successful people in the world didn't avoid failure, they used it as a tool for growth, and so can you. So, when failure comes knocking, don't shy away, embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward with the confidence that each failure is making you stronger, smarter, and more capable of achieving your dreams. Failure is not your enemy, it's your teacher, and the lessons it gives you will shape your path to success. Chapter 5. Overcoming self-doubt. Self-doubt. It's the voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that you're not capable, or that you're not worthy of success. It whispers lies that hold you back, keeping you stuck in a cycle of fear and uncertainty. But what if I told you that self-doubt is nothing more than an illusion? What if I told you that it's not your truth? It's just a trick your mind plays on you. The truth is, everyone experiences self-doubt at some point. Even the most successful people you admire, people like Steve Jobs, Serena Williams, or Elon Musk, have all faced moments of doubt. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to that doubt. When self-doubt creeps in, it's easy to believe that it's a sign that we're not meant for success, that we don't have what it takes. We might start to second-guess ourselves, question our abilities, and wonder if we're on the right path. But here's the reality. Self-doubt is just a natural part of being human. It doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. It means you're challenging yourself to grow. The key is learning not to let self-doubt control you. Instead of letting it paralyze you, use it as a signal that you're moving in the right direction. Doubt is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're doing something that matters. It's a sign that you're stepping out of the familiar, out of the safety zone, and into the unknown, where growth happens. But how do you overcome self-doubt when it feels so overwhelming? The first step is recognizing that doubt doesn't define you. It's just a passing feeling, one that doesn't have the power to control your destiny unless you allow it to. When self-doubt arises, take a step back and observe it without judgment. Understand that it's a temporary emotion, not a permanent state of being. Next, replace self-doubt with self-compassion. When you doubt yourself, it's easy to become harsh, critical, and unkind to yourself. You start to focus on what you're lacking, on what you haven't achieved yet, but instead of beating yourself up, try being kind to yourself. Remind yourself of your strengths, your past victories, and everything you've already accomplished. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to a friend. Encouraging, loving, and supportive. You also need to reframe your thinking. Instead of focusing on all the ways you might fail, focus on the possibilities and opportunities that lie ahead. Instead of thinking, "I don't know if I can do this," shift your mindset to, "I may not know how, but I'm willing to figure it out." Every successful person started with doubt, but they didn't let it stop them. They turned their doubt into determination, and that's what propelled them forward. When self-doubt starts to take over, ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Most of the time, the worst-case scenario isn't as bad as we imagine. It's simply a fear of the unknown. When you face that fear head-on and move forward despite it, you'll realize that you're far stronger than you gave yourself credit for. Remember, self-doubt is a normal part of the process. It's not an indication of your worth or your abilities. It's simply a sign that you're challenging yourself. You can choose to listen to it, let it hold you back, or you can choose to push through it, to rise above it, and to let it fuel you. The choice is yours. The more you face self-doubt with courage, the less power it has over you. The more you step forward, even when you're unsure, the more you'll prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Doubt may come knocking, but it doesn't have to control your future. You are stronger than your fears, and you are more capable than you realize. Chapter 6. Cultivating confidence. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's not an inherent trait that a select few are blessed with while others are left without it. Confidence is a skill, one that you can develop, grow, and strengthen. And the beautiful part? It's available to you right now. When you doubt your abilities or struggle to trust yourself, it's easy to think that confidence is something you either have or you don't. But I'm here to tell you that confidence is a muscle, and like any muscle, the more you work it, the stronger it gets. The first step to cultivating real, lasting confidence is believing in your worth. True confidence isn't about bragging or pretending to be perfect. It's about knowing deep in your soul that you are worthy of success, worthy of happiness, and worthy of pursuing your dreams. It's about recognizing your value, not based on external validation or comparisons, but simply because you exist. You have inherent value, and it's time you start acknowledging that. And start by shifting your self-talk. The way you speak to yourself shapes the way you feel about yourself. If your inner dialogue is filled with negative thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never be able to do this," you're feeding your lack of confidence. But when you start to speak to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and love, you're building your confidence brick by brick. Try this. For every negative thought you have, counter it with 2 positive affirmations. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," counter it with, "I am capable of learning and growing," and "I have overcome challenges before, and I can do it again." This simple shift in thinking starts to rewire your brain, reinforcing the belief that you are more than capable of handling whatever comes your way. Another crucial element in cultivating confidence is taking action. Confidence doesn't come from waiting around for the perfect moment. It comes from doing. When you step outside your comfort zone and take action, even when you're scared, you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges. Every time you take a step forward, even if it's small, you build trust in yourself. The more you act, the more your confidence grows, and the more you realize that you are capable of far more than you originally thought. Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is one of the biggest barriers to confidence. But here's something important. Confidence and fear can exist in the same space. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's about looking fear in the face and saying, "I'm afraid, but I'm going to move forward regardless." Take a moment to reflect on all the times in your life when you've done something that scared your limit. Maybe it was giving a presentation, asking for a promotion, or stepping into a new role. When you did those things, did your confidence grow? Did you prove to yourself that you could handle the challenge, no matter how difficult it seemed? That's what confidence looks like in action. It's not perfection, and it's not an absence of fear. It's the courage to show up, to keep going, and to trust yourself along the way. Lastly, remember that confidence is built through consistency. You're not going to feel confident overnight, and that's okay. It takes time. But every time you step forward, every time you take action, and every time you replace self-doubt with self-belief, you are strengthening your confidence. It's like planting seeds in a garden. Over time, those seeds will grow into something strong, beautiful, and unshakable. So, how do you cultivate confidence? You start by believing in your worth, taking consistent action, and embracing fear as a natural part of the process. You choose to trust yourself, even when it's hard, and you make a commitment to show up for yourself every single day. With time and dedication, confidence will become a natural part of who you are. You are worthy of success. You are capable of greatness. And when you truly believe that, your confidence will shine through in everything you do. Chapter 7. Mastering Self-Discipline. Self-discipline is the difference between dreaming about your goals and actually achieving them. It's the bridge that connects the vision of what you want to accomplish to the reality of getting it done. But here's the hard truth. Self-discipline isn't always easy. It's not about motivation, because motivation comes and goes. It's about creating habits, routines, and mental toughness that keep you going even when you don't feel like it. Think about it. We all have big dreams, things we want to achieve. But what happens when the excitement fades, when the newness wears off, or when obstacles arise? Motivation can falter, and without self-discipline, it's easy to give up, to stop trying, or to let the goal slip further and further away. But self-discipline is about more than just following through. It's about building the mental resilience to push through discomfort, to stay focused on your end goal, and to make the right choices even when no one is watching. It's choosing to stay on course no matter how tough the journey gets. The first step to mastering self-discipline is clarity of purpose. Without a clear vision of what you want and why you want it, it's easy to lose sight of your goals. You need to understand the why behind your goals. Why do you want to accomplish this? What is the deeper meaning or reason behind it? When your purpose is clear, it becomes easier to stay disciplined, because every action you take is aligned with something meaningful. Once you're clear on your purpose, the next step is creating a plan. Self-discipline thrives in structure. When you have a clear roadmap for where you want to go, it's easier to take the necessary steps to get there. Break your larger goal down into smaller, more manageable tasks. These are the stepping stones that will help you stay focused and on track. With each small win, you build momentum, and momentum is the fuel for discipline. Now let's talk about habits. Discipline doesn't come from willpower alone, it comes from consistent action. And the key to consistency is habits. When you make the right behaviors a part of your daily routine, you don't have to rely on motivation or willpower to get things done. You just do them because they're ingrained in your day. Start small. Pick one habit that will move you toward your goal. It could be waking up early, exercising regularly, or dedicating a set amount of time each day to work on your dream. Make it non-negotiable. Even if you don't feel like it, even if the day is tough, you do it because it's part of your routine. Over time, that small action becomes automatic, and before you know it, self-discipline has become second nature. But here's something important to remember. Self-discipline is not about perfection. It's not about never slipping up or making mistakes. It's about getting back on track when you do falter. We all have moments when we lose focus, when we fall behind, or when we feel discouraged. The key is to not let those moments define you. Self-discipline is about the long game. It's about picking yourself back up, learning from your setbacks, and moving forward again with determination. Another aspect of self-discipline is learning to say no. Saying yes to every opportunity, every distraction, or every demand on your time can pull you away from your goals. You must learn to protect your time and energy by saying no to things that don't align with your purpose. Your time is precious, and when you focus on what matters most, you give yourself the best chance of achieving your goals. Self-discipline also requires patience. It's easy to get discouraged when results don't come as quickly as you hoped, but the journey of growth takes time. Trust the process. Stay focused on the small wins, the incremental progress, and keep your eyes on the long-term goal. Remember that every day you practice self-discipline, you're one step closer to success. The road to success is paved with discipline. It's about showing up, even when it's hard, and doing what needs to be done, even when you'd rather take the easy way out. It's about being consistent, building habits, and staying focused on your purpose. And when you master self-discipline, nothing can stand in your way. So, ask yourself, what goal do you want to achieve? What steps can you take today to become more disciplined? Start small, build your habits, and remember that self-discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about staying committed no matter what. The more you cultivate self-discipline, the more you'll realize that you have the power to achieve anything you set your mind to. Chapter 8. Building Resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after facing adversity. It's what keeps you going when life knocks you down, what allows you to rise after a setback, and what helps you stay on course when the road ahead seems impossible. It's the foundation of every successful person's journey. But resilience doesn't come naturally to everyone. It's not something that you're born with. It's something you build over time, through every challenge you face, through every failure, through every obstacle. It's forged in the fire of difficulty and shaped by how you respond to life's toughest moments. So, how do you build resilience? How do you become someone who doesn't crumble in the face of adversity but instead uses it to grow stronger, smarter, and more determined? The first step is changing your mindset about challenges. Too often, we see obstacles as roadblocks. We view failure as a permanent state, something to be avoided at all costs. But true resilience comes from seeing challenges as opportunities, not threats. When you face a problem, instead of saying, "This is too hard, I can't do this," shift your perspective and ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow through this?" The greatest growth happens outside your comfort zone, and adversity is the key to unlocking that growth. Challenges push you to develop new skills, adapt to new circumstances, and find creative solutions. When you face a difficult situation, try to see it through the lens of opportunity. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? How can I use this experience to become better? Resilience also comes from developing a sense of purpose. When you have a strong why, you are more likely to persist through the tough times. Purpose gives you a reason to keep going, even when things are difficult. Whether your purpose is to provide for your family, to create something meaningful, or to help others, keeping that purpose in mind will fuel you during times of struggle. When you face obstacles, remind yourself why you're doing this. Your purpose will keep you focused and motivated to keep going, even when you want to quit. Another critical part of building resilience is embracing your emotions. It's easy to think that resilient people are immune to pain or hardship, that they don't feel the same fear, frustration, or sadness that the rest of us do. But the truth is, everyone experiences these emotions. The key is not to suppress them, but to feel them and move forward anyway. Allow yourself to grieve, to feel disappointed, or to be angry when life gets tough. These emotions are part of the human experience, and acknowledging them is a sign of strength, not weakness. After you acknowledge your emotions, it's important to focus on what you can control. In difficult situations, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially when things feel out of your control. But resilience comes from accepting what you can't change and focusing on the things you can. Maybe you can't control the outcome of a situation, but you can control how you respond. You can control your attitude, your actions, and your mindset. When you focus on what you can control, you regain your power and sense of agency. Equally important is taking care of your mental and physical health. Resilience is not just about grit or determination. It's about being well enough to face challenges head-on. That means taking care of your body, mind, and spirit. Eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, and make time for activities that nourish your soul. Resilience thrives when you're physically strong and mentally clear. When you take care of yourself, you build the inner strength needed to tackle whatever life throws your way. Support systems are also essential when it comes to resilience. No one is an island. The most resilient people have a network of friends, family, mentors, or colleagues who support and encourage them. When you're struggling, reach out to someone who can offer perspective, guidance, or just a listening ear. You don't have to go through tough times alone. In fact, your resilience is strengthened when you allow others to lift you up. Finally, remember that resilience is a lifelong practice. It's not something you can build overnight. It's something that develops through experience, through facing challenges, and through learning how to bounce back stronger each time you fall. Every setback, every failure, and every obstacle you face is an opportunity to build your resilience. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep going. When you face adversity, don't ask, "Why me?" Instead, ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I use this to become stronger?" When you build resilience, you become unstoppable. You realize that no matter how hard life hits, you always have the ability to rise, to keep going, and to turn the hardest moments into the fuel for your growth. And in that process, you'll become the kind of person who can withstand anything that comes your way. Resilience is the secret weapon that turns struggles into successes. It's the strength that lies within you, waiting to be tapped, and the more you practice it, the more you realize that nothing can stop you from achieving your dreams, not even the toughest challenges. Chapter 9. Developing emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EI, is the ability to recognize the first key element of emotional intelligence is self-awareness, as well as the emotions of others. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize your emotions as they happen. Not just for success in life, about being in tune with what you well-being and understanding why you are at managing your emotions. When you're self-aware, the emotions of those negative emotions like the more effective you will be in building relationships before they spiral out of control. And making this gives you the opportunity to choose how you respond instead of reacting impulsively. To develop self-awareness, take time to reflect on your emotions. Ask yourself questions like, what am I feeling right now? Why do I feel this way? How does this emotion affect my thoughts and behavior? Journaling is a great tool for this. By regularly writing down your thoughts and feelings, you can gain greater insight into your emotional patterns and identify areas where you can improve. The second component of emotional intelligence is self-regulation. Once you're aware of your emotions, you need the ability to manage them effectively. Self-regulation is about not letting your emotions control you, but instead being able to pause, breathe, and make deliberate choices about how to respond. When you practice self-regulation, you avoid overreacting in stressful situations, and you maintain control over your actions, even when you're feeling strong emotion. Developing self-regulation takes practice. When you feel yourself getting upset or overwhelmed, try to take a step back. Breathe deeply, count to 10, or simply give yourself a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what is the best way to handle this situation? How can I stay calm and composed? The more you practice self-regulation, the easier it becomes to stay in control of your emotions, rather than letting them control you. The third component of emotional intelligence is motivation. People with high emotional intelligence are able to stay focused on their goals. Even when faced with setbacks or difficulties, they don't give up easily, and they're driven by a deep sense of purpose. Motivation is the internal force that keeps you going, even when external factors make it hard to continue. To boost your motivation, remind yourself why your goals are important to you. What is your deeper purpose? What do you want to accomplish, and why does it matter? When you are emotionally connected to your goals, you'll find the strength to push through even the hardest of times. Motivation is about finding your why and using that as fuel to keep moving forward. The fourth aspect of emotional intelligence is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's a powerful tool for building relationships, resolving conflicts, and connecting with people on a deeper level. When you can empathize with others, you're able to see things from their perspective, which helps you respond with understanding and compassion rather than judgment. Empathy is a skill that can be developed by actively listening to others. Instead of thinking about what you're going to say next, focus on truly understanding the other person's emotions and point of view. Pay attention to their body language, their tone of voice, and the words they use. When you show empathy, you create stronger connections and build trust. Finally, the last component of emotional intelligence is social skills. Social skills are about knowing how to interact effectively with others. This includes everything from communicating clearly to resolving conflicts to building and maintaining relationships. People with high emotional intelligence are skilled at navigating social situations, whether they're leading a team, negotiating, or simply having a conversation. To improve your social skills, practice active listening, be open to feedback, and focus on building genuine relationships. Make an effort to understand the emotions of the people around you and be aware of how your words and actions affect them. Building strong social skills will help you succeed in both your personal and professional life, because relationships are at the core of everything we do. Emotional intelligence isn't something that you either have or don't have. It's something you can develop over time. The more you practice being aware of your emotions, managing them effectively, staying motivated, understanding others, and improving your social interactions, the stronger your emotional intelligence will become. When you master emotional intelligence, you unlock the ability to create healthier relationships, make better decisions, and handle stress and conflict with grace. It gives you the ability to navigate life with a deeper understanding of yourself and others. Emotional intelligence is the key to mastering your inner world, and by doing so, you can create lasting success and happiness in your outer world. So, ask yourself, how can you start developing your emotional intelligence today? Are you willing to become more aware of your emotions? Can you practice self-regulation, stay motivated, empathize with others, and enhance your social skills? The more you work on your emotional intelligence, the more you'll realize that you have the power to create harmony, success, and fulfillment in your life and in the lives of those around you. Chapter 10. The Power of Consistency. Consistency is the secret ingredient that separates the dreamers from the doers, the successful from the unsuccessful. It's not the bursts of effort that lead to lasting success. It's the daily, steady, relentless pursuit of your goals, no matter how small the steps may seem. In fact, success isn't a result of occasional brilliance. It's a result of consistent effort over time. Think about it. Success is a journey, not a destination. And the path to that success is paved with the small, consistent actions you take every single day. Whether it's working on your craft, investing in your personal growth, or simply showing up for your goals, consistency is the foundation that keeps you moving forward. It's easy to start strong. We all get excited when we begin a new project or commit to a new goal, but over time, that excitement fades, and what you're left with is discipline. Discipline is what pushes you to keep going when the novelty wears off, when motivation fades, or when you encounter obstacles. It's what separates the ones who quit from the ones who achieve their dreams. The key to mastering consistency is embracing the process. Too often, we focus on the end result, the goal that's so far in the distance that it feels out of reach. But success is built in the small moments. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Those small daily actions compound over time, and before you know it, you've made huge progress without realizing it. So, how can you harness the power of consistency? The first step is setting clear, actionable goals. Break down your larger vision into smaller, achievable tasks. These tasks will give you something to focus on daily, keeping you on track. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by big goals, but when you break them down into smaller pieces, they become manageable, and you can stay consistent without feeling like you're drowning in the process. Another key to consistency is creating a routine. When you build habits around your goals, you don't have to rely on motivation or willpower to keep going. You simply do the work because it's part of your day-to-day life. Set aside time each day to focus on your goals, whether that's writing for an hour, working out, learning something new, or networking. The more you make these actions a non-negotiable part of your routine, the easier consistency becomes. It's important to celebrate small wins along the way. Success isn't just about the big moments, it's also about the small victories, the progress you make every day. Take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. Celebrate the fact that you're showing up and doing the work. This keeps you motivated and reinforces the positive habits you're building. But most of all, remember that consistency doesn't require perfection. You don't have to be perfect every day. There will be days when you fall short, when you don't hit your target, or when you feel like giving up. And that's okay. The key is to keep going. It's the perseverance, the getting back up, and the willingness to keep showing up that will ultimately lead you to mastery. Here's something to remember. Rome wasn't built in a day. Mastery in any field comes through consistent, persistent effort. It's about putting in the time, day after day, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Keep your eyes on the long-term goal, but celebrate every small win along the way. Those small steps add up to massive progress, and over time, your consistency will lead you to the mastery you desire. Now, if you've found this journey of growth and personal development valuable, I invite you to subscribe and stay connected. Each new video, each new chapter of learning will bring you closer to the person you were meant to become. Don't miss out on the upcoming content that will continue to inspire, challenge, and empower you on your path to greatness. By subscribing, you'll be part of this transformative community, a community committed to growth, perseverance, and the unwavering belief that we can all become the best version of ourselves. Let's continue this journey together, one step at a time. Keep showing up, stay consistent, and trust that every effort you make will bring you closer to mastering your life. Thank you for being here. Keep pushing forward. Your best self is waiting for you, and with consistency, you will get there.